Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. That works. Let's have a look. What's going on here? What's going on? Oh, what have I titled it? The Player. Okay. Let's do The Player. Okay, so we did a code review yesterday, was it? Yeah, that was it. I remember. Code review. Code review presented me a problem with the GUI. So for the moment, I've just shoved it into a separate shader. Yeah. Simple solution which isn't effective, but it works. So we've now got partial GUI, just to remind me to do it properly, really. It's just on the screen. I've just dumped it onto the screen rather than put it through like the full shader, as it were. Simple solution. But it's something I want to work on later. It's not something I want to be doing now. The GUI will take care of itself for now. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Ah, right, yeah. What's this all about? Shaders? No, I don't want shaders. I had enough of shaders today. Right. Let's go back to our main game loop, which is now looking a lot nicer, I must admit. Yeah, here we go. Where did I put that light? That's fine. Camera position? Not fine. Rotation? No. We need a rotation in the Y direction as well. Or a look at. We could have a look at player. No, I want to center the player properly. I don't want to be creating extra functions for what really is just camera rotation. We've got the X, it's just the Y equals minus 45 degrees. I think that's right. Soon find out. We should be looking to the wrong side. Right, okay. So it is plus. Never mind. Right, let's get on with this. Let's place a player. Placing the player is a little bit of a cheat, but not much. We place the player in room 0. Yeah. Dungeon level generated. Right, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Dungeon level generation. Game state current. Dungeon level. Yeah, that's okay. We don't need to add any code. I think we've already got it in dungeon level generation, in this dungeon generation thing. Here we go. Let's have a look in here. Ah, lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah. There. Gives a Vec3. We'll have that. So what do we have for the player currently? Right, we initialize the player as an entity, and we send back the entity. Let's have a closer look at that. I see. All right, got coffee here, as I think. It's a simple exercise of taking the player's bits and pieces, which we can do within a scope of brackets, so it won't last. But we'll have a pointer. We're looking for a player position. That's what we were after. So we'll make it one of them. Position star equals which one is it? Component model position. Add model, text, delete. Here we go. Look at model position. That just needs player. No, it doesn't. What does it need? Why won't it tell me? It won't tell me because I got it wrong. Dum da dum dum dum. Right, open brackets. It needs the entity ID. That's player dot entity ID. Okay. That gives us the player's position. So what we need to do now with that player's position is change it. Player position dot position is a vec3 equals dungeon random pointing room gives us a vec3, and we just choose room 0. Now all we need to do is place the camera. Can we add these together? I wonder if I can make that an offset. So in the X direction, I'll put, what, -6 or so? -6. In the Y direction, we'll go up, let's just say 6 for now, or 6.5. And in the Z direction, I want to come down, so that's positive. 6. Let's make that an offset. And then camera position, well, equals that plus player position. Is that legal? It's interesting. And it's correct. Wow. Yeah, I knew I'd have problems with the see-through bits here. But hey-ho, I don't really care about that little yet. Right, our 45 degrees is too sharp. And, of course, our player's embedded in the floor. So let's sort that out. Right, our player is coming back with that. Okay. Player position dot y plus equals 0.5f. Right, let's get him out. That's got him out of the floor. And our X rotation is an over rotation. So it's usually about 30 to 33. We'll try there. Usually about there. And then let's have a go at placing this camera properly. There we go, that's a bit better. Right. And the lighting's working nicely. I'm just wondering whether I should change the colour of the @ symbol. In the original game, it's green. Alright, so it's just below centre. What I need to do is be able to count the squares off. 1. It's hard to do with this texture. 1, 2, 3. That's about right. Interesting. Let's just try something. Player position. Model color equals GLM. Back 4. Let's go with 0.2 f, comma 0.8 f, comma 0.2 f, comma 1.0. Well, let's try those numbers. This probably look awful now. I don't know. Not sure. Hmm. Right, I need to angle that down slightly. It is annoying me. Alright, we'll go with 30. I think the other one's 36. So let's go with 36. That's better. It's close. Very close. Yeah, that's closer to what I want. Mm-hmm. Right. We're looking okay. So we've now got the player and camera working together. We've got the light working. So the whole of that if statement is now independent-ish. I'm just wondering whether we should take it out. Take it out of that and just put into a function. Is it worth it? Who knows? Does it matter to the CPU? No, not in the slightest. So, does it matter to the human beings that are going to be doing this, like me? Not really. I'm just thinking that it might make this more readable. I mean, does it do anything special in here? I'm not sure yet because we haven't done all the generations yet. Okay. Now, the player has to be able to move as well. And this is where I didn't like what I did last time. I really didn't like what I did. What I would prefer is a cleaner solution. What I did last time was basically just smash it in. Let's have a look at the archives. All right, let's have a look at the original code. Sorry for the flash of light there. Main game loop. Let's have a look what we did. You can see how much it's cleaned up since the original. I mean, this is like, yeah. And it's hard to spot where the main game loop starts. Ah, here it is. Right, so this is main game loop. Yeah, it's a bit messier, isn't it? What I've been doing is tidying it up as I've been going along. So all of that mess we translated into nicer code. Made it more readable. Development code is always messy. So we poll the events and we are looking for the SDL key down. And we register the player to have a current action of move. Right, so we can put that to the top. We then do an if statement on the action. So, we then have that user keyboard input, don't we? Yeah. Okay. What we really should be doing is separating that game loop out. All the action happens due to a key press. If there's no key press, there's no point in carrying on. And you may as well go, just not carry on. You don't even need to update the screen. In fact, rendering is a complete waste of time. So this structure that they give as an example is great, but for a game loop? No, it's not. Well, not for this game loop anyway. But I still want to keep it because I want this to go multiplayer. I want it to go real time rather than turn-based. If you do it turn-based, then everybody that's in the game has to hit a key before the game will continue. Yeah, that could be interesting with 1,000 players. One goes AFK, what happens? The whole game stops. That's a joke. No, it doesn't. Could do half and half. That creates input lag. So if you go half and half turn-based and real time, all you do is you generate an artificial input lag to enable as many players as possible to take their turn. Which is an interesting theory. Is it something we want? I can't see the point of wanting it. So what I would prefer to do end of polyvent loop. Is instead of doing this, it's just to register the key. I just want to register the key press. I don't really care about anything else. What key is pressed will be the turn taken. And this is where it gets horrible in here. It's this thing. Right, this is what we want here. And then, of course, we've got all the if statements. And then we've got this horrible, horrible, horrible Boolean crap. Look at the state on that. That is just awful. I'm shocked that that's separate. And it's outside of. I want you. This, yeah, I'll have you. And then we can decide what to do with it, can't we? This is going to give us scan codes, not key codes. Big difference. We're supposed to map them, aren't we? Who cares? Right, so I've made a mess of this area. That's good news. That has to be sorted out now. All right. An unsigned int 8. Unsigned int underscore 8. It doesn't like it. We don't have that. We certainly don't have that. Oh, right. Take 8 off there. Wait, that a capital. And we have that. Okay. Easy way of doing it. Hey, Seppi. Int x, int y complies. Void. I hope that's an Apple sign. I can't actually see what. Or void finger up, int x, int y complies. Does it now? That's a different way of looking at it. Oh dear. Did you get a chance to see last night's video on? I set up Rust and everything, didn't I? You were asking about Rust yesterday. How did I done it before? Yeah, is the answer. I've also set up Python in case anybody needs it. It's on, well, you can probably see it, which means I can't. I hate that. That one, please. Thank you. So I've set my capture card up so that we can switch over to it. If you want to ask any questions about stuff, I can actually just switch machines now. So that's pretty handy. Just in case we need it. You want to do, or you want information or help doing other things, or you want me to code something different. Because this isn't about me coding a game. This is about me helping you lot. So all I'm doing with the game thing is showing the process by which you would develop a real product, I suppose. A AAA game, in fact. It will turn out to be. I mean, this code is still a bit iffy at that point, but you can see now how it's taking shape at the top. But this while loop is going to be yikey dodgy. Right, update input from the user is simply that one line. Done. Now what we can do is we can pass that information to a function, or we can use it as a group of functions. Problem is if statements. I've got one there. And I haven't, oh, I have generated another one here, haven't I? So I've already got two. The biggest killer of games, you'll find that when games are first released, they usually suffer lag. And it's this and this that is causing that lag. It also means that when you come to develop the game, it becomes harder to develop because you're branching all the time. Branches kill games. In fact, branching out kills programs. So this is why I'm being very careful about this user input business. What we need to do is control the player's movement. So let's have a look at this a little bit better. If we're going to get that, what we need to know here in the game logic is what was pressed, because we're using real time now. We didn't stop. This is now real time. We haven't stopped for a turn. the easiest way to do that is to put a for loop in. We're going to put that straight in the middle of a while loop. This is so funny. Current key states comes up with what? An SDL scan code, which is, well, let's take a look. SDL scan code period. Let's have a look at that. See what it comes up with. So we can plonk it in anywhere. We're careful. Let's put it in here. All right. That is equal to 55. Does that mean anything to anybody? Yeah, that's something I realised yesterday, Seppi, when you were popping in and out trying to chat with me, and I wasn't really doing very well watching the chat. I realised that my stream was deviating towards writing a game rather than chatting and helping the people watch and interact with me, and that sort of made me think a little bit more about how I wanted to approach this. So yeah. Right. Right, that was something else I was doing. SDL2 scan code table. Here we go. Oh dear. Scan codes go from 0. Oh. So all right. Try that one. Decimal. 0 to 284 scan codes. It's a stupid number, isn't it? In fact, there isn't an SDL scan code max or number. Num scan codes. I'll bet there isn't. That's an interesting one. It's a type def. Let's have a look through them all. Find equals 126. There's 128 of them. I don't understand that. Oh no, let's just carry on. Strangely named ones? KP? Is that for crisps or something? Sauce? Interesting. Mode 257. There's no max. Number? No number? Total? They haven't been very good with this, have they? No, no total. STL scan codes. So it goes all the way up to STL scan code app 2. There isn't an STL scan code last or anything like that. That's not very helpful, is it? 285 is the number. Hash define. Max SDL scan codes is 285 or 284. There you go. Catching a Mo Seppi, it's alright. So, I'm going to create a for loop on that. For keyboard, I hope this isn't a word. It is. User input equals 0. Scan codes are full, aren't they? Are they? No, they're not. They're just decimal. Int that's the user input is less than or equal to max SDL scan codes user input ++. This is a completely different approach to what you would normally see happen. Instead of saying if, I'm going to go through them all. So the first one we check for is if. What we are going to do now is pass a number through, or maybe we should just do a long line of if statements. That could be interesting. I'm just gonna try something out because I know the code for this is gonna be absolutely horrid, and it's gonna be so bad. So I want this as naive as possible. If I can get this as naive as possible. So well, I'm gonna say if user input is equal to, and now we can actually just use a scan code. Interesting. Do we want to make any choices here? Nope. Why doesn't that look right to me? Briac. Why can't I read the word break? Can somebody tell me why I can't read that word? Okay, mine's gonna blank. Great creativity. Mine goes a blank. Creativity stops. Ah, dear. No, I can't think of anything. All this code and I can't think of how to spell a word. Bothering me. I don't know if that's right or not. I can't read it. That isn't English to me. That's wrong. That's why. That's cobblers. What is current key state? A uint 8 star. Let's just try and experiment out. Current key states. Print F. Keyboard. Test. Equals. %D. No, %. Yeah, D. Comma. User input. This is a little test piece for what I'm trying to get at here. All right, okay. Run that. Oh, we thought about it. All right, current state of the game. Put in that corner for a second. Let's try the period key. Comes up with 55. Try the W key. 26. Oh, look, I've got a keyboard detector. What the? 40. Oh, wow. Look at that. One line. I do love this game. I'm glad the creativity juices froze up there because I was going to do something stupid for a second. Right. Can I control? Oh dear. I can. Look, control key comes up. W key comes. Oh yes. This is what we want. This is keyboard. Look, arrow keys, everything. Numlock. Yeah, numlock works. Change the numlock. 7 is numlock. 95. 95. No, it gives the same. Gives the same. The keys are numbered. Whether numlock's on or off, caps lock doesn't work, I guess. 57. D. D. No, caps lock doesn't work. So your numlock and your caps lock are just keys. You could use them as part of your keyboard. I find that a little bit interesting, but now I've just messed my keyboard up. I don't know what's what. So I better find out what's turned on and what isn't turned on. So D, normal. 4 is normal. Okay, that's good news. Right. So that's it. If we have a numerical input, we can do something. We could actually create a game state. I'm guessing that's possibly a good idea. Oh, I didn't check whether all of these things actually were the same, but it was 55. They should be all the same. Period. Yeah, it is. So that's good news. So I've got a way of detecting the keyboard, the whole keyboard, without any problems, but that will create user lag, input lag. Or at least I hope it would. It didn't really matter because it was over detecting anyway. Well, that's more about Speed of that's the speed of the game running rather than anything else. So that worked. We don't want to printf though, we want to do something else, don't we? We don't have user input, do we? No, we don't. Okay, it's part of the interface. Let's add it. Input.h. Oh, that burpy liquid is definitely getting me to burp at the moment. Include. Source. Common. No. There we go. That's you done. New item. User input. And this is a CPP file, of course. There we go. And we have user input. So when a key press is made, the user takes an action. So we need to, well, I'll put it as void. I know it isn't void, but it doesn't really matter. User input. Input. Take action. User input. Action. Respond. Response. Don't like it. And if I hesitate and I don't like something, I'll hesitate forever until I do. I've got a cat being weird behind me. Just one sec. You need to go downstairs, love. Yeah. am getting slightly more worried about that cat. All right. Right, let's sit and think for a minute or two. I mean, most of programming is just thinking about how you want to approach things and whether you want to continue down a certain path. Will this path lead to better code, or will this just go to Dante's Inferno? We don't know. Now, I don't want to overthink this. So the best idea is that. So, they've been awkward with this list, haven't they? Yeah, they've put it in a table. Yeah, that's not going to work. Hmm. You see, what you should really do is have that list written out. But there is an easier way of doing this. Hmm. I might use something I've never done before. Hmm. This could be dangerous. I mean, it's a rule that I have, and it's a rule for a good reason. Never use switch statements. So we won't. There we go. Um, that looks a bit better to me than what I had before, which I couldn't read. Yeah. So that's your base code. Ridiculous to say. Let's have a look at some more codes. So what were the scan codes for those? Oh, it's just the letter, is it? Yeah, just the letter. So this last bit would be W, A, S, D. Do it in that order. Don't know if I should do it in that order. I don't think I should do it in that order. I think I should do it in S. And that should be A. Yeah. Won't work. Can't do that. That's okay. That's fine. So what do we want to do if we press WSAD? We want to move the player. Now, luckily, we know who the player is, but what we really want to do is move the entities component. So we want to move the model component model position. That means we should be here, but it's a system. Like we have a system for text 3D. We really should be creating now the system for movement. Okay. Where do we create this? Well, it's part of the ECS. It's not part of the graphical user interface, even though I did put that system in here because it was. This, I'm not even sure user input is part of the graphical user interface. I suppose it should be. I don't like doing it this way. Because what you get is system, move, entity. .h. Source, common, and we also need to add. I'm not sure if this is wise or not. But it is the first, well, it's the second system we've added, but it is a system. Anything that changes a component is, or data, is a system. I'm not quite sure what that was about, Muppet, but okay. There we go. Let's see what happens if I try and do it this way. So what we would do is have to be careful now. Because my mind has just done something which we're not supposed to be doing, I don't think. Are we animating? Because I've already said, oh, we're in real time. But we're not yet in real time. I've got a problem here. It's about time. Big problem. In the original development code, we didn't use time. We just went off turn-based, which means we should really go turn-based here. Ah, won't work. Where are we? Graphical user interface, there we go. Graphical user interface, user input.h. That helps if we add it there. There we go. So that's that done. How do we want to do this? It'll be source. ECS. Move entity. Let's pop you there. I like to write it this way round rather than trying to make a system and then manage it from this end. This is user input, so it's only the user that is affected. Good. So if we have a look at our main game loop on how we initialize the player, what we did is we gave it an ID. We set the ID to the player. So we know the ID is 64. We know that as a fact. So let's just put a variable up here for a minute. And we'll call that player. What would be a good way of doing this? I think the simplest way of doing this is probably system move entity. Oh no, that's not going to be good, is it? Entity forward. Player. Like that. So how does that interpret? Let's copy that out to our system. It's a void, obviously. We didn't ask for a return. So that's a void. Player is a GLU int. I think it was. Yeah. Why am I using a GLU int? Let's just go with int. Makes things simpler on myself. So that would be int entity underscore ID. There we go. To make that work, we would have to include source, ECS, position. Okay. Let's set this up for a success. Model, no. Component, look up model position, position. No, that's wrong. That's entity ID. Can never remember what I've called things. We keep that main game loop open. There it is. Just take the word player off it. Equals that. Yeah, that works. And if we want that to move forwards, plus in the X. Position dot. Okay, don't like it already. That's better. That dot position dot X plus equals 1.0 F. That's it. This causes an absolute terrible amount of problems. So F5. Player undeclared identifier. Okay. Sorry. ID. Okay. Alrighty. Press W. Nothing happens. Interesting. Make sure I've called it. All right. Key W has been pressed. Return. Might work. All right. Key you out of the way for a second. Right. Key W has been pressed. Thank you. So we've pressed it. You're done. You're complete. Are we not allowed to do this? Okay. I'll just say entity. %f. Yeah. All right, that'll do. Come on. Just wondering if I need a statement here or not. Okay. There we go. Ah. That's why. Interesting. We have not looked up the correct number. Oh. That is correct. We haven't looked up the correct number. We've looked up the model ID. It's 1. It's 1. Yeah, that was a little bit of confusion on myself now, wasn't it? Whoops, there it went. Yeah, that works. Why me? Um, yeah, I put in the model number instead of the entity ID. So yeah, that didn't help. That's preferable, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I think that will work properly. Now, as you've already realised, there was no collision detection. And system is going to move that no matter what. It needs is move allowed. So what we have here is straightforward. Yeah, get rid of it now. Straightforward movement. But we shouldn't be doing that movement if it's illegal. Hmm. So what we need here is a different function. We need collision detection. What have we got here? Nothing. World, no. We've got no physics. That's what we're missing. We're not dealing with OpenGL anymore. Maths we're not doing. Yeah, we've got no physics. Huh. Okay. Source. Add. New folder. P physics. Physics. The first thing I'm going to do is add new item. What should we call it? Detect collision. Detect underscore collision. .h. No idea what to call these at this point in time. I'm just making things up. Which is usual for me, I guess. Include source. Yeah, we're doing physics, folks. Physics. Detect collision, no, common. And wow. Did we do collisions in the last one? Don't think we did. We did do simple collisions, I know that. But it has to be separated off now. Collision.cpp, as you're about to find out. Otherwise it gets very complicated very quickly. Add. Hash include. Ooh, I have a stray E. Detect collision. There we go. Lovely. We'll leave you alone for a minute. Right, header file. For now, we'll do our first collision, and our first collision is to do with the dungeon. Right, what have we got in dungeon? Just use the header files. The 4. Dungeon check map cell int xy. So what we're looking to do is before we move an entity is to check that we are allowed to do whatever we're about to do. So what we would like now to do is detect again. I can't read detect. Why can't I read detect? I have no idea why I can't read today. Collision. So I'm just going to hope it's correctly spelled because I've got no idea. I can't even read what I've written. Collision. Wall with wall for now at the point x comma y, which will be x comma z. So that's that for the x value. Comma entity position z. That's a z. Sorry, just correcting what I consider to be a mistake, although it's just a labeling. It's not actually a mistake, it's just a label. So that's going to be all right. So now we've written this function. Well, that's how we want to use the function. That's a better way of putting it. Let's start tidying this up now because it's getting more complicated, as it always does with me. Okay. Actually, that's a bad idea. Now, do not tidy it up yet because I've got a better idea than that. I can do that. Yeah, put it back. I can wrap that in an if statement. Very simply with a return. Like that. That's what I want. I want that ability there. I want the ability to detect a collision with a wall. So let's go to detect collision. And that will be a bool. Has to be a bool because we need to true or false, so it's in an if statement. That becomes an X and a Z. That's it. And that becomes a semicolon. Hash include. Whoa. Include. Source. Game world. Dungeon. I found something. There we go. Nice extension of all right. Actually, no, it's just a return value. So we are going to return that thing here. Now you might be thinking to yourself, but why don't I just place that one-liner in here? Detect collision with wall. All right. Hash include. There's a big reason for it because it's going to change. There's a reason for it. SOU source. Yay, physics. Yay, collision. Yay, go. Yay. There we go. So why didn't I just put the header in for the dungeon and just call that straight? Big reason for it is that detect collision is not correct. This is a very simplistic, how can you put it? Check. There's been nothing there. It's just checking whether a cell exists or not. Whether a floor tile exists or not. Checks if a floor tile exists. That's what we are actually checking. We're not checking for a collision with a wall. We are checking that statement there doesn't check for a wall. It checks to see if the floor exists. That's all. So it's a cheat. Well, it's not a cheat, it's a simplistic way of doing it. But later on, we don't want to check if the floor tile exists. we want to check if that tile is blocked. If that makes sense. Yeah. So just as long as you know this is an intermediate stage, and that's the reason why I've separated it off into a physics class, because it's going to get slightly more interesting than just dungeon check map cells. Okay. Does it work? No idea. No idea. We got errors. Nope, doesn't work. Why did we get errors and it carried on? Need that. It's in the output. ECS, system move entity. 8. What we got? From T to int. That's a float. That's a float. Mm-hmm. That is correct. Right, should give it for both of them. 895 and 861. Yeah, it's giving it for both of them. So what I've done is I've messed up this. That's a float. And that's a float. That's a float. Yes, I'm just putting the error somewhere else. That's a float. So in this case, it's going to be that goes to there. Static cast to an int. And static cast to an int. God, I love C++. Static crappy castiness. There we go. Does it work? No, shouldn't. No, that races off. Totally. Interesting. It's still adding that, so it's coming straight past this. How? What is this coming back as? Is it coming back as? Interesting. It does do what I think it does, doesn't it? It returns true. Oh, if it exists. I think it's a not sign. We're not going to be able to see, are we? No, it still doesn't stop. Blooming heck. I don't believe this. Okay. Something's not quite right here. Hmm. I can't read the word return either. What is going on with me today? Oh, well, fair enough. I'm having problems with my reading today, it seems. Print F. Collision detected. This usually starts doing stuff. What I'm going to do then is I'm just going to else it off, aren't I? Maybe. Shouldn't have to. Are we actually detecting collisions on this W key or not? Ah, this is a good one to do. Get you out of the way a minute. Yeah, we're collision detected, but it's still moving. That's interesting. I would have thought the return would have done it. Never mind. That should do it. No, it's just ignoring. Why? How? How are you ignoring it? Am I doing this somewhere else? Have I duplicated something here? Yes, I have. It was absolutely fine. The only trouble is I was doing it there. X plus 1. Is that now correct? There's no equal sign in that. I'm not moving anything. Good. Yep, collision detected. That's it. It was maybe in a Pratt. I duplicated. Okay. Oh, this isn't necessary. Right. I want this as small as possible. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. That should work. Yeah, that works. We haven't got the escape key. Can I put the escape key in? Yeah, why not? I've done the first collision. So that's how you set up your collision, your very first collision ever in a game system. Set it up to go very, very simply. And you do everything one step at a time and test it all the way through like I just did there. If you don't, then you're in trouble. Like I would have, if I'd have just piled on all of the stuff and just written the whole thing for player movement, including collision, I would have got it so wrong, because I'm human and an idiot at times, that the whole of the code that I would have written, because I'm not a programmer, would have been completely dysfunctional. You've got to remember, I have to logically step through everything to be able to write this. I can't just write code. I am not a programmer. But hopefully this shows you how a beginner would approach such a project like this. You know, I'm hoping that's the case, because I'm not showing this as, oh, I know everything. I don't know anything, actually. That's the whole point of me doing this. I'm trying to see whether knowing absolute bugger all about programming. Okay, I know how a computer works inside out, upside down, and backwards. I know all the systems and all the rest of it. Yeah, I know what I'm telling the computer to do. I'm not asking it to do anything. I am actually programming this computer. I am telling it to do things. When I tell it to do something and it doesn't do what I expect it to do, I then investigate all the way down to, well, machine code. I don't care how far down I have to go. So, yeah, I approach it from a different angle, I suppose. I also try and write code that I can read, which I'm not really succeeding with today. So, and as we just hit the 2-hour mark, I'm going to go make a cup of coffee, I think. I think it's nearly coffee break time. We've had a bit of success. We've got the player in, and we've got the player moving. That's not bad, is it? Got the player moving a little tad fast. But, okay. We might. Did I take out that delay? Might have to add that back in. I might have to increase it to 100. Sounds stupid, I know. Having to slow your OpenGL programs down when everybody's struggling to speed theirs up. The honest truth is, an OpenGL program only needs to go at 25 frames per second. .33 if you want it smooth. Take a close look at your TV picture sometime. How many frames per second is your TV? And you'll see reviews saying, oh, well, I can tell the difference between 60 Hz and 140 Hz. Well, yes, of course you can. You don't see the bloody glitches. The miscalculations before they're corrected. Yeah, we've got that to go through, yeah. Computers can't calculate anything in floating point. Did we use ints in this or not? Oh, we've done matrices, haven't we? But we reset the matrix every single time, so we're okay. We're going to be all right. We're fine. As long as we reset the matrix every time, it won't show. But you have to remember that every calculation is wrong. So what you actually see on screen is the approximation, or your eye will pick up an approximation of where the object should be at any one time. When you're dealing with OpenGL, you are dealing with an illusion. You've got to remember that your screen that you are looking at is two-dimensional, not 3D. OpenGL creates an illusion of 3D. It doesn't actually create 3D. Which is really funny to me because then you go and have a look at the adverts for Oculus Rift and they say, oh, enjoy the immersion into a new 3D world. It's on a 2D screen, mate. It's not a 3D world. Two-dimensional world. All of these arrays are two-dimensional. There's nothing 3D here. You can paint a picture on a two-dimensional canvas that looks 3D. It's called a scene. But we don't call it a 3D picture, do we? So come on, own up, you people out there that think that we're programming 3D in OpenGL. Come on, hold your hands up, because we're not. The illusion that I'm creating of 3D is actually rather good. Coffee, I said, didn't I? Right, how do I do coffee breaks? I remember now. I pull that over to here. I click on this, and then I say, I'll be right back. Then I say something into the microphone like, give me a few minutes. There you go. That's how we do a coffee break. Good, eh? Yes, I did read that off a note card. You're right. Worry, I'm back. How are we doing? Right. Okay. Oh, that's nice heat coming out of this computer now. I should have run the OpenGL. Got the card warmed up. No, don't know what that's about. Good. Right, so next thing we do is we save that. That is perfectly working. User input started. Well, it's user input. What have we added here? Comma system for moving entities. What else we added? Quite a lot, really. Detect collision. It's a semicolon. All begin here. Okay. Make sure I haven't missed anything off that one. We left that one a little bit too long, I think. Between commits. I think we overproduced. That was overproduction. Never mind. It might seem that I didn't do too much, but you'll find out very, very soon that I've just set up for a win. A big win. Have a look on the left-hand side now, and what are you starting to see? Now, a lot of people say to me, why don't you use a game engine? Have a look at that left-hand side. What does a game engine provide? Physics, maybe? An ECS system, maybe? A game world, maybe? A user interface, maybe? What it doesn't supply is the main game loop and the text file utilities. The maths it would, I suppose. So maths is included. It'd have all the OpenGL, probably give you some basic shaders, basic rendering. Interesting. What does that one do? Oh, that collapses all. That's okay then. So what have we got here? It looks like a game engine, doesn't it? Where did that come from? I wasn't programming a game engine. Was I? No, I wasn't. So for user input, I no longer need to program anything else here, do I? No, I don't need to alter that. That's my user input. Yeah. Okay. Get rid of that then. So our user input is now controlled from here. In here. Well, if we've got system move entity forward, maybe we should do the other ones to go with it. Hello, Muppet. You're about to sneeze all over. Did you just run up here so you could sneeze on me? Did you? You little love. The physics for the collision doesn't need to be altered anymore. What we need to do now is put in place the system. And all we need to do for that is 1, 2, 3. Backward. Left. And right. Very easy to read. Okay. Let's put our system together. Create the definitions. There we go. That's you done. I think you can tell what I'm going to do here. It's copy and paste time. Okay. Right. So backward is a minus. Minus. Then we have left, which is z minus. I did that wrong. My bad. There you go. And z plus. There we go. I'll take it right. The detection collision is embedded within. All the detection of collisions is done. So that's the full systems. Done. Now all we need is the input. Oh, we've only got one thing, haven't we? Go on then. We'll do the full version. Or am I going to be lazy? I think we'll be lazy. Ah, that didn't work. Glad my fingers don't work half the time. So that's forward, backward, left, and right. Let's just run that. Make sure things are working as intended. WASD. W, S. Can't go past there. Can't go past there. Can't go past there. Can't go past there. And yep, we can go down the corridors. Oh god, this movement is awful. There we go. How's about that? Whiz, whiz, whiz. Whoop. Oh, I do like this. This is funny. Can I get that matched up? Very hard. Wah. Wah. I think that might be a little bit too fast. I don't know what you think. Looks like we've got turbo Rogue here in 3D. At least it's working. Something we could do to improve that is possibly make the camera a bit more responsive. I think. Come on, Muppet, if you want to come here. Hey? So I've got some nice movement going on. It looks smooth, but it isn't. I haven't used time. So that is horrible, rough movement. Animation-wise, it's awful. Can you tell? No. And that's what I was trying to say. People overrate the 60 frames per second thing a lot. And I've been watching some reviewers on streams and things, and I don't want to disagree with them. Maybe they can see the difference between 60 megahertz and 140. But seriously, ask your TV maker what's the refresh rate. And I bet they don't say it's 60 frames per second. I bet they tell you it's about 27 to 33. And that is the honest truth. So if I make this game and I don't tell people that it's 140 megahertz per, or if I advertise it's 140 megahertz per second, do you think they're going to come back to me and say, oh no, it isn't? That's what I'd like to. That could be a good experiment. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should be a game maker and lie through my teeth about what my program can do. They're good at it. Yeah, good advertising. That's what they call it, advertising. I call it lying through your teeth. But anyway, we've got full movement. So, looking down here, oh, we've got an update camera here. Camera position equals camera position. That's useful, isn't it? No, it's not useful. That should not be doing that. That's the first thing. We could pass the camera to be updated in the user input, but in the future, maybe I want the camera to be separated or the camera to do something completely different. And I want different modes for the camera. Yeah, Gosh, I do like to complicate things, don't I? So we're going to update as the modularity. I want to keep it modular. So we're going to update the camera separately. So that's making it a little bit more awkward. So where it says update camera, we don't even have a camera class. No. Well, we do have a camera class, but we're not, it's there. We're actually passing it around. Oh, something somebody said. This is online, it's on YouTube, and they said that Python is the only language in which you can create a class within a class. And I just sat there, looked directly at the screen and said, no, you're wrong. You can do it in any language. You just have to know what a class is, mate. He obviously doesn't know how to write C. Poor sod. Don't believe everything you see on YouTube. That's the answer to that one. I would like to play it up on screen right now, but I can't do that because that would be unfair to the poor person. They were innocent. I think they said it wholeheartedly as if it was the truth, but it isn't. Creating classes within languages is up to the language. It's not up to whether you can create a class within a class or not. You can do that anywhere you want, if you know how. You could do that in any language if you know how. How are we going to do this camera? Okay. So did we update the camera in here? In this mess that we made? Yeah, we did. Right, so it's pointless looking at this. I'm not sure is the answer. Because we have an initial camera. And then what do? We come down here and we do this. So what that says to me is that's a function. Because we want it again. We want to keep placing the camera in new positions. So what we're looking for really is this GLM Vec3. Oh, thanks. Get off the keyboard, you daft cat. GLM Vec3, which the cat kindly just rips out. Place camera. Oops. Yeah, okay. Place underscore camera. That's all I'm going to do for now, is because no idea. And all we do is we send in a Vec3, I think. Yeah. So it's just player's position, which is a Vec3. Yeah. Okay. And that's player position. I think that'll do. No point in making a massive, new file or anything for it. So I'll do that. Here we go. So, what do I want? You taking off. That's the first thing. We'll keep that. And we'll pop you there. Like, Ah, there's a rotation. So that is camera. Void it. No. Yeah. How are we storing this camera? Perfect. It's a pointer. Oh, right. That's easy then. That becomes a void. We can do it as a side effect. Damn it, main. Camera, is it? Yeah. Star. Camera. Comma. That. That's better. That's a lot better. Just do that. That. Why have I got a finger pointing? Got a finger pointing here. Ah, thank you. Come back at it. Right. Weird. Weird machine. And that will place the camera. Nice. So let's take that bit of code. We can pop it up here. That becomes camera. And that becomes player position. That one. There. Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. So, what we need now is that again. That's interesting. Because we're not using the player position anywhere else. Big red mark. Have to make a decision about that big red mark, won't we? Otherwise, we can't run the program. Right. That will generate something. Hmm. What I'm thinking of doing is just putting in here a GLM Vec 3. Call it player. No. Current player position. And just make that equal to anything you want, really. Doesn't really matter. It's immaterial. That is immaterial, but it's messy. Do I really want it? Because it adds a line here. And people will wonder why I've done that. Unless they looked further down and find I've got this. That still won't work. Who's accessing it? Can't do it. We have to access the current position at that time. Hold on a minute, there's a way around this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Go back. Whoa. Thank you. Where was it before that? Up here. Go back, go back. Go back. Go back. Get rid of it all. It's all wrong. Go back. Thank you. Sorry, that's all wrong. We've got player. And we have that. To replace that. Yeah. Look at that for a line of code. Will it work? I'm still trying to work out why I've got camera and game state camera position. Why have I got two positions? Why am I not just storing camera within game state? Does anybody know? So I'm initializing the camera here, but I'm actually making one. Why? Here we are, game state. Damn it. That one there. All right, I'm going to think about this a bit more because that's not really helping us at all. We've got this camera and player still knocking around, which, you know, yeah, we'll think about. All right, so we've been able to get rid of that one. What about this place player? I think we should do the same here. Right, I'll have to think about that one as well. I've still got some messes to clean up, as it were. Cleaning up a mess is what the alpha is all about. Right, does this work? I haven't a clue. Damn, it does. Oh, look at that lighting change. This is supposed to be, supposed to be able to tell the FPS. Can you? You tell what FPS that is? I know what FPS is. I set it. Well, look at that lighting. Oh, lovely. Lovely jubblies. I'm very happy with that. I can't control it, like, but hey ho. Yeah. Oh, yes. Look at that. That is awesome. Oh, dear. That's an interesting corridor setup. Okay. Yeah, we've got some very interesting corridor setups. But it's supposed to be messy like this. I've designed it to be a spaghetti one. Right. Sorry about the test message and stuff not working fully, but level. It is there, but yeah, reasons. I just couldn't be bothered fiddling around with it anymore this morning, so I just threw it into a shader and thought, stuff it. I'll deal with it later. Right, so that's working out nicely. So there's a couple of cleaning stages I want to go through at this point, because we do have a little bit of a mess left over from here. We've got place camera, so shall we have a place player? And if we do, what do we need? That's interesting. We just need... I'm thinking of folding these two into each other. And I don't think that's a wise idea. I do want to lessen that green down, though. It's not that I don't like green, it's just I don't like green. Got green everywhere and I don't like it. Anyway, beside the point. Creating a function for a function's sake. So I'm not going to. Main camera. Where are you used? You used once. Then we mess about with you. And we use you in update game state. That's interesting that we pass the camera in when we've already supposedly got it in here. Jesus, what a mess. That's it. That's where we use camera. There. There. What I want to do then is I want to take that, cut, paste, get rid of. That's going to affect something. And semicolon it. Okay. That's the only change. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to change one variable for another. No problem with that. Right. That solves that problem. That solves another problem. Next. Now we had a few down round here, didn't we? Well, really, not needed. Solves that problem. Ding. Delete. That solves that problem. Really? Calc camera view matrix is in maths. Yeah. Delete. That's that one done. Let's do the finals. Delete. Okay. Right, so we have a result. Okay. That solves that one. Is GLM rotate going to play with me or not? Doesn't look like it. Oh dear. Alright, still get error type up there. Okay. Yeah, well, whatever. I'll say it works, even if the computer doesn't. Sometimes it's better to make a decision yourself rather than wait for the computer. Minus. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay. I'm not even sure we need to return, you know. We could void that. I have no ideas if that's in... why does it keep doing that? I highlight something and just click it off. Does it star? Oh, right. Okay. It's telling me that it's an error type. Interesting. Better move that, I think. That might do better. Is that why it was calling it an error? Could be. Could be. Interesting. It was detecting an error and not telling me about it. Interesting. Right, we've still got errors here. Do I need that? No. That's not right. That can go. But... we have game state current dot camera equals a new main camera. Which means tidy up. See, we initialize the main camera there. Return camera. Ah, we actually create it there as well. Ouch. That's a null pointer. We don't actually create it in here, we create it in the next initialization. Yeah, that's correct now. The other thing is we need a teardown on that. That's interesting. I thought you couldn't put classes within classes. I've just done it here. Whoops. So that person was obviously not knowing what that was about. Not sure I need to do that, but I think I should. That's right, I've got a class within a class. Which can only be done in Python. I hate people saying things like that on YouTube. People actually believe it. My apologies for getting annoyed from other people's ignorance. That's a bit of a big statement there now. You can see why I start splitting them down, can't you? Alright, we're looking okay in this area. This section's good. Plenty of space, readability. Do a bit more readability here. Done that one. Right. What? Pudding, what are you meowing for this time? Oh, I see. It's after 3 o'clock, he must be wanting his tea, which he's not gonna get right now. Alright. What haven't we updated? Right, so we've managed to get rid of that camera strangeness that we had. That really belongs there now, doesn't it? Interestingly enough. Yeah. Well, that's migrated its way back to the top. Well done, camera. You got to the top of the list. Right, so we're looking good up there. Still looking messy in here. We know that. We've got this player position that's bugging me again. It shouldn't be in the main loop, but it is. Sorry about this, but we are at the stage now where I want to make this into an alpha and I want to make it into a real program that I can use later on for something else. I don't want things like this in a main game loop. It becomes critical that you get rid of stuff like this later on. And I mean seriously critical. Because stuff like this can be reprogrammed into assembler. We don't need it in C++. Quite a lot of this we don't need in C++, actually. Main game loop. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Because it's such a simple thing to do. It's not something that we need hanging around. Okay, that'll do nicely. You're probably thinking, but that destroys what you were doing before. No, it doesn't. It just makes it different. So I only want from there. Yeah, I just need that lot, don't we? Right, let's see if we can make this into a proper thingy. Just remove that bit. Yeah. Green, yeah. I'm happy. Get rid of that. Enter. Enter. Can't look at model position, player, entity ID. Yeah, that's right, because that's 1. Too many N's, spoil the broth. Right. Actually, we did have player ID, didn't we? Do I really need that? What is going on here? Oh, we've got an error. Place player. Open brackets. Player ID. So player. Whoa, sugar. Player. Dot. Entity ID. Correct. Yes. And that does that. So it's player. Dot. It won't do it. Why not? An int. Yeah, I agree. That's Muppet doing his bit. What have we got here? Oh, we've got player position, yes. Whatever. Entity underscore ID. Can sure up he can do it properly, can't it? Yep, that's okay then. That means we can finish that bracket off. We can finish this one off now. Oh, look. This is looking better. Alright, I think I sorted the code out. I think. Nope. Alrighty. What do we need for this? Render use shader. We need current game state. So that's just camera, arrow, position. Magic. That's an arrow. A simple one. Okay. Anything else in here? There is something else in here. I'm damn sure of it. That's the camera position. That's in use shader. No, I can't think of anywhere else to do that. What else was held in camera? Something's bugging me. I've no idea what it is. Oh, it's just that. Who's getting the view matrix? It's on your main game loop. There. Holy cow, we did that well. Just do a rebuild at this point. We're clear. Oh, baby. We've got speed. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Did I do that escape key? No, I bloody didn't. All right. I know how to do it. We will add the escape key. Somewhere around here. I'm just trying to think of a way to do it that's legal. Ooh. I don't want to mess this up. Got you. It's got to come after this update input. Yeah, it's got to come after that line. Now I remember. It's here. So, what we have is if current key states, open brackets, SDL underscore scan code underscore escape. Yep, got it. We get the result of that line there. That's it. So if I now run it, we get our screen, and I press escape, works. Bit of a lengthy statement, that one. We'll give that a return. Should do that with all of these, really. Shouldn't have them on the same line. Right. That's me happier. Enable escape key to close main window. There we go. Now it's done. Still got this here that's bugging me. Do you know why it's bugging me? Because we're not using it. And it's there for a reason. All right. Right, let's just correct some of these. Right, so what have we added? Quite a lot. Let's just make sure everything's correct. As well, I try and correct things as much as I can as I start finalising things, and we are starting to finalise things already. We are 100% in the right direction now. Alright, all of this code at the bottom can be moved out. Wow. This is all the core initialization placements. So from that line onwards is all initialization, and that can just go into core initialize or core initialization. After I finish creating rubbish things like this. But it means that we can place the player anytime we want, but it's tied at the moment to that. We have no input on it. Place player, int player ID, that should really be comma int room place. To be quite honest with you. And that there. So let's improve it whilst we're here. Because I need it for something else later called teleport. The teleport spell. So I may as well put it in now because I already know I need it. And I'll be very happy that I've done it. We should be erroring now. Why aren't we erroring? Oh, that's why. No, that's not why. Please. Now it'll error. Yeah, there it is. There you go. Place player can also be used. Well, this might actually be converted into place entity. And that will become a system. We've got move entity, we haven't got place entity. Will that do any entity? Oof. This code's hard to read. Indeed it will. This will move any entity. Yeah. I need to redo. Oh, I'll do it whilst I'm here, so I don't. Whilst we're nattering. So, any natter? Any natter? Any questions? We've finished with that. Did common get changed much? Nope. Rendering, did that get changed much? Not really. The main game loop suffered the most horrendous changes. And we do need to save them. Lovely. So sit back and relax. That's not been... Come here, microphone. Over here. Thank you. That's not been too bad a day. We've got the movement system sorted out. Well, most of it anyway. 90% of the movement system sorted out. We have 50% of the collision system sorted out that we need for this game anyway. We need collision with wall and we need collision with entity or monster or whatever you want to call it, I guess, which could all be done in collision with entity. Because theoretically, you could make wall models. You could make the walls look better by introducing models that you can see, well, that become see-through. Because remember, you've got see-through. We've already talked about it, and I've used it actually on the rendering for the GUI. There's a reason for it, but yeah, reasons. So yeah, we can already look through things if we want to. We can set its opacity. That's built in. That's baked in to the system. Because I wanted to keep the color system. That automatically gave us that alpha channel through the color system that we can use for fading in and out of entities. Which I find quite interesting. For instance, if you wanted to make your player have the ability to go corporeal or into a smoke type form, not giving away the plans here, am I? Fangs everywhere. How would you do it? Oh, it looks like I'm never going to get around to doing this. I keep opening the wrong one up. Right. I keep setting the player's colour, don't I? Here. What would happen if I set its alpha, let's say, to 0.25? Okay, this is the player. This is its colour. Not its texture, its colour. You can hardly spot the difference, can you? Can you or can't you? I think that green really buggers it up. It's starting to affect it more there because it's in a darker place. Right, yeah. The lighting's catching it a little bit too much. Okay. I can press escape now. Yay. All right. Take it down to 0.5. Really, really, really hardly anything there type of thing. And look at what you've got. Look at that. We've just become a ghost. I can probably take that even down to 0.025, 2.5%. It's due to the calculations, but look at that. How's about that lighting effects on a smoky at sign? Smoking. Wow. I am going to try it. I want to go down to 2.5. I want to see how far I can push this before it totally blinks out type of thing. Oh, wow. That's even better. Look at that. You can still see it, just, I hope. But if you can see the full effect now, that is awesome. How it just fades in and out. Oh, I could play with this all day. Better not, though. Put it back to 1. So that's baked in to the color matching scheme, so that I can use color instead of texture. So this is actually textured, but I've just overridden the texture with a color. But if you have a very close look at the model, you'll still see the texture through the color. A little bit of a dinky idea that I had. And I don't think anybody even noticed me doing it, but hey ho, I don't care. I put it in there on purpose for this, for especially this kind of easy effects as it is. Because special effects in OpenGL usually cost a lot of GPU time. Whereas I've baked all of this into the lighting calculations, which I've put in the wrong place, as I keep telling everybody, because I'm really happy that I have done. And it works perfectly. So, yeah, all right, that's what I was doing. I think it's interesting that you can play around with code and really mess up the expectations, I think. Of what is to be done or what should be done. That looks better. So, yeah, if you are coding out there your own game and you've seen how I've developed this, then from the beginning, I don't mean just this part. This part is to get this far has taken an awful lot of work. It's in total about a month. About a month's worth of coding to get this far. And I'm quite impressed with the results because there's only me doing it. But now you can see that one person could have concentrated so much and done so much more than I can do by myself. That if with a team, I mean, if I could sit down and concentrate just on one area, I mean, I would have had this system sparkling by now, this move system. I could have had this sparkling because it's completely independent of anything else. And it's far from good. Trust me on that one. It'll do weird things at the moment. When I say weird things, I mean weird things. So, yeah. The game is afoot. We have the player. That was the objective for today, is to get ourselves a player. We need to, I think, release the horde soon. Well, that's a lot better. I can now read things. Could split that down, but no. So yeah, things are grouping together nicely. All of this can be torn out now. I still haven't finished with that and that. So yeah, we've now got classes within classes. We've got classes within functions. We've got functions within functions, nearly. Yeah, I suppose we have. Cascades. Function cascading. Function to function hopping. That was the system that I just generated for the movement. That was a cascade. Where data is cascaded down through the functions to the system that actually deals with the data. But as we'll find out later, I had to do it that way because it's going to be cascading differently very soon to different functions at the same time. It'll be branching out into various functions, especially on the physics side, because I might introduce gravity one day. I should do, really, I suppose. What time are we on? Yeah, I know. We're getting close. Yes, Pudding, we're getting close. I think we're nearly close enough. I've run out of drinks. I think I've run out of drinks. And I can't remember what I'm doing for food today. Damn. Right, so that is now player movement. Complete. Nearly. So let's have a look what we've done. So we now have player movement. We have basic collision detection. And we have basic user input. All of those are complete. Is there anything I've missed there? No. That wasn't bad for a day. Why does collision not look right to me? That looks right. Okay. I'll go with that. Yeah, it is 1S. Good. Lovely. So we now have nearly a complete program. We have all the bits. We don't... Yeah, we're still missing possibly another one system, yeah. What people don't realize with ECS is more than one system can work on a component can be used by multiple systems. They forget that. They tend to design the components to work with one system, and you shouldn't. A component is just a block of data. It can be used in any system. And the more systems it's used in, the more useful the component is, obviously. Good. I'm happy. I hope everybody else is happy. Still think that Seppi thing is funny. That is hilarious. What I'm going to do is I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'm going to go and dream up the next part, which is... I can't even remember what the hell it is. Doors. Oh, we're going to the House of the Rising Sun, are we? We're going to go and meet the doors. Okay. I think that looks good fun. What day are we on? Are we on a Thursday? I think we are. Yeah, we're on a Thursday. So what I'll do is I'll probably start on the House of the Rising Sun tomorrow by the doors. How's about that? Want me to sing it for you? Nah, go and have your own fun. Go and listen to it on the radio. Take care, peeps. Have fun. Catch you tomorrow.